The key to the Christ joy. I am a giver of love, nothing else. I am a giver of love, and from my great and powerful longing to give comes forth everything that is. Oh, it is the movement of this desire to give the love I am that is the reason for creation. The rumbling upon the deep, the rising tide of joy as I realize I can do it, that I must. The crack of lightning, which is the moment of creation, is the moment I decide to do it. Yes, how many ways can it be done? How many possibilities to give are there within me? How many treasures, crystalline moments of love given and received? They go on forever as before me or within. I bring them forth. All my love given forth in every way I can imagine. This is what creation is. And thus, O precious hearts, this is the truth of you. No amount of spiritual growth, no pinnacles to climb, and no amount of experiencing bliss will ever really be the way in which my children find that which they seek. Thus I show you once again the subtleties of ego and the truth it is you seek. And thus do I focus you ever more precisely upon the living truth of love you are as you begin to live it in the world. Thus, too, I turn this light on you, precious ones, and remind you that anything I give to you, I also give to all my precious ones. Words are not the messages. The message is the love. And you have asked to experience divine love as the basis of your living here. You have asked to know your truth, the service you are here to give. Know that as you place your will in mine, not one breath is ever wasted, not one moment in your life occurs without a greater purpose. Every bird that passes you, every wave of every leaf, every motion of the wind, absolutely everything shall speak. Know, too, that every question asked shall be answered in a million ways. As a starlit night, as a certain touch from your beloved soulmate. For what unity means is that it is all of a piece, and when one thing moves, everything moves. Thus every question from a seeking heart draws to it the response of everything, and it cannot be otherwise. So when you ask and when you give, and when you open ever more deeply, the entirety of creation shifts and seeks to give to you your answers. So all you have to do is listen with your heart, and everywhere you look you'll see the answers. Beauty will spring up around you, and as you read about Jesus, the very stalks of flowers bend toward you when you are near, reflecting to you who you are. This, then, is our topic. Who are you? You, like me, are a giver of love. For in all the worlds and solar systems, the galaxies, the rays of light, the dancing fields of living grace and the sweet yet potent particles of light, there is only one purpose. Every single thing there is the answer to my desire, to give the love I am. How many ways can I give this love? Oh, every now this is the question, and every pulse of living love answers the question again. All creation shows myself to me, expands my understanding of what it means to give my love. And wave after wave, my love is received, and every single form of life within me passes it on. Only thus does the system work. The stars stay in place, the planetary beings of living love stay on their course around them. For any one life to try to keep that love, to refuse to allow it to continue on, would be analogous to your body with an organ which refused to release the blood it had been given to sustain its very life. Particle and galaxies, great beings of light you perceive as the sun, your sun, other suns, and that which you name the great central sun. For rather we should say other people name it thus. All of these are your perception of those beings of love who seem brighter to you the more love they give. You too are just such a light. You too are a pulsing star which, if you were perceived from distant physical eyes, would look like the sun now looks to you. The more love you give, the brighter your light. The more love you give, the more in alignment with me. The more love you give, the greater and greater your experience of life as ecstasy. For ecstasy is the feeling, the experience of real love, giving love as it flows through you. You are my heart, beloved ones, and it is your love for me which completes the circuit that fires the nerve, that tells the heart to pump. It is your love for me that truly connects you to the moment of creation, so the orgasmic rush of love then comes pulsing through you, your soulmate heart. Your love for me is how you know who you really are as a giver of love. It is the moment of your birth all over again, the moment where my living heart becomes conscious, the moment when you knew yourself as a living cell, a package of love, an engine of light, a mirror for me of the giving of life, and a package together of the living forces of creation. In that moment, which happens again now and now and now, you accept what you receive in response to your love for me. You receive your glorious identity as the unique, magnificent twin flame, being that you shall be forever. And accepting it, you know yourselves from this perspective. You joyously receive the pulse of orgasmic love directly from the moment of creation, and you, in turn, give it forth. In the giving is delivered to you everything held within that love, meaning every magnificence, every glorious urge to give of the love we are together. And beloved, you also receive my very consciousness, for everything I am is contained within the living river of my love. Thus, dear ones, are you conscious as I am conscious. In the pulse of love there flows through you the consciousness of every form of life as I have made them. Every nuance, every tone, every shade of beauty, all are yours. For in the river are the living codes, the DNA of everything, every life in all I am. Yet only by giving can you have access to the whole of love's great consciousness, and only by giving the orgasmic pulse, allowing it to truly and wholly move through you, can you experience the real emotion, the energy in motion that is life. What is in motion? Love. And how is it in motion? In glorious orgasmic pulses. Oh, words can never capture what this means. Everything I am is yours, delivered in exquisite perfection, every single now. And all you have to do is keep the river flowing to receive its abundant gifts and to be attuned to my very consciousness. Is this not enlightenment? The answer to every possible question, the sharing in the banquet of life, the receiving of every treasure of heaven. Oh yes, it is. And oh, how much more it is than any on earth have ever dared to dream, except for those, of course, who come forth here completely open and delivering this river of life, like our beloved Jesus. The Christ is that river of love. That river is what we call Christ light. Those cells of my heart who have appeared here and never turned their will away from me have been the ones through whom this pulsing orgasmic river flowed. Right here to all who live within this dream. This is why they knew so much. The complete conscious awareness of creation as love ever being given was theirs to experience and to ever draw from. I ask the question, oh, how can I give the love I am? For something moved within me, and I knew I had to have the answer to this question. From it came forth the orgasmic explosion and outpoured all the magnificent, glorious, and precious possibilities I could conceive within my consciousness. Out came life in a profound profusion of joy. Yet when I reached the fullness of my giving possibilities, some of you, my children as you know, asked the question, could I also create not love as well as love? Could this outward burst propelling your conscience with mine? Of course, since my orgasmic river came right through you. First thing, could this mean I propelled you away from me? You decided it felt this way and thus decided it must mean I could do something that was not loving, something that pushed you away. So at the end of my breath, as I breathed forth the river, the movement in response to my question, that which we call the out-breath, You went even further. This you know. Yet in this resulting conception of love and anti-love, even as I call you back and seek to help you roll back up all those streams of possibilities coming forth from you, it can be difficult for my precious ones to discern the truth of love, to reorient themselves to their conscious of contact with the living river which comes pulsing forth in wonder to renew my giving love every moment. This, beloved ones, is what I am now showing you. For we have laid the path, beloved, all the way around. You now must prepare yourself to return your conscience to home, to the moment of creation, and thus return your heart, your life, your will, your consciousness to what it means to be a giver of love and nothing else. Of course, the ego wants to keep you looking into darkness, and thus, dear ones, it commandeers even the impulse to return to love. As I have shown you, it is a totally different result when someone lives to give my love or lives to grow themselves in the Spirit. Yet both would seem to be living a devoted spiritual life. Allow no judgment here, for I show you how I love them both, and how I only see their precious intent in their beautiful hearts. But I must ask you to accept the gift within these lives as it relates to our purpose and to the steadfast and glorious heart of love you are. I am showing you what it means to be the mystic you are, refining even your definition of yourself. For even if, as yet, they come through your mind, even a thought has a very specific vibration. So when applied, a thought is very potent in moving you beyond the thinking mind into the heart. You, Yale, are a mystic, and by reconnecting you to the Sufi tradition, I show you the clearest mystical path available until now. And of course, as you already know, I deepen your awareness of what I ask of you. And that is this, that you know yourself as a giver of love and nothing else. The giver of love to me, to Doug, and to every form of life that comes before you. Be it a bee or bird or animal or human being, you are a giver of love and only a giver of love. Practice it continually because we are so close to your rediscovery of who you are, and thus your ability to fully allow the glorious, ecstatic, orgasmic movement of creation to flow through you completely unimpeded. Yet you still retain a little patch of clever ego consciousness which continues to convince you that you must grow yourself to be able to get to the point where you can finally be the embodiment of love. This little trick of your ego, dear one, has the support of almost everyone on earth. Yet the time has now come when I call you back home, which means that all anyone needs to do is turn back around and accept my love and the ecstatic return of your connection to the moment of creation. Accept yourselves as the heart of love, the vehicle for its delivery. So in showing you what I have, dear one, for the record, I show you this. Someone can be a devoted seeker and even achieve great moments of bliss and experience of communion, yet be oriented still to getting and to not giving, to reach for the high of the light, to focus the practice on being better, and even in their service, present this view to others, that the spiritual path will bring them peace and help them have serenity and ever-increasing moments of bliss as their personal experience. And while eventually the heart will shift anyone out of ego if they keep creating the space in their life or spirit, they are not readily available to serve in this important transformation. And while sweet and kind and loving, the subtle forces of getting the Spirit does not deliver to others a transforming vibration that opens the heart to the living truth of only love. The other person whose life is completely mine, and to whom you give love, is the one and only priority, transforms lives everywhere he is. Because he connects hearts to me, he delivers my love straight through his heart. He opens a stargate, and all who are looking can see and feel my love for them. They, like you, feel recognized as another light, another heart, an equal partner in serving me. This is the truth of his presence. He is a giver of love. Everything he does is to love more. If he meditates, it is to prepare himself for me. If he speaks, it is to provide, as we do, words as vehicles for the delivery of cargoes of love. He is not spiritual for himself, for his growth, or even so he can feel the light or experience the bliss of communion with me. For all of this is getting. It may seem to be the spiritual path, and of course, as we've said of other things, it has value because it raises one up until they can understand the heart, the soulmate, womb, and giving. Dear one, every time you love me or any child of God does so, your love is the key that connects you to the orgasmic now, the glorious moment. As you do so, as you are turning to me, you are filled with exquisite expectancy, like the building up to orgasm as a connection between us is made. Every wave of love for me is returned by me to you, amplified, of course. This is the code written within every human being. It is also the code spoken by Jesus, which I have given to you as your focus. Love God with all your heart and love your neighbors as yourself. This is the open sesame for the Christ doorway within you, and dear one, you will feel it as you practice it. For as you pour your love to me, then you wait a moment to receive my response. First, you'll feel a wave of warmth and perceive a stream of light. But as you keep doing it, sending, giving love to me, you will start to feel a pulsing love coming back from me to you. This is you beginning to sense the ecstasy, the pulsing orgasmic river of love coming right to each now. As you keep loving me, the pulsing increases, the ecstasy begins to fill you. This is a lock on the door of your heart responding, clicking open. This is your return to the moment of creation. It is your remembrance of your position as the open heart of God. This was not given to you as some secret code, but rather is simply your return to life, to love and only love, to facing me and not turning away, but most of all, to remembering that you are, like me, a giver of love. This is the ecstasy of the mystics throughout the history of the world, but this is only the first step. It is opening of the lock that is the ego, the reversal, the desire to get. So if at this point you don't turn and give, the Christ doorway never opens. A person who completes step one can be happy, can have the bliss of our communion, but their life won't be the miracle, the transformation of that which is human into that which is divine. You are here, as they say, on the map of the journey of reclamation. Your love for me is here, and you are coming into contact with the key to the door of the real. But your ego is still playing its songs, convincing that you have growing to do, convincing you don't want to be in the front of people, etc. Playing its game of hide and seek. But I am after you, for you are mine, and we have planned to lay these steps. Thus do I give to you the very Christ directive that, when used correctly, is the key to human transformation. Love God with all your heart. This is the turn to me that I have been speaking. This is the clicking of the lock opening, and you come back into the experience of the orgasmic explosion of love life. Now comes step two, without which this does not work, no matter how good it feels to receive my love in return for yours. Love your neighbors as yourself. In other words, give the love to others. This statement is the key to humanity's awakening, but both parts must be fully engaged. Jesus knew this and lived it, but there were very few who could understand it in his day, though many thought they could and still do. Now I place the key in your hands so you may bring to fruition in humanity that which Jesus began. Now you begin to see why I have given you this statement as your code for every interaction, for your own awakening, and to give and live for others. This is why I brought you to the statement true that Jesus had only one creed. Love thy God with all your heart and love thy neighbor as thyself. This is the entire New Testament, and everything in Jesus' life was simply his being the living expression of this. Thus does it now become your testament. It is to be the core of your life, and you are here on earth also to be this in experience. Now so many are ready to follow you around, to make the turn back to me. Give every one the key of the statement or testament or code and explain it. Yes, I am showing you flashes of your remembrance, even though you did not recognize it. You are living the horizontal arm, so you may be the conduit and experience of the code to the Christ door within every person. This is what we shall call it, for even this very name has codes of light within. Thus you receive the central point of that which you are here to bring and to demonstrate. Your continuing clarity allows the return of consciousness, helped along every moment by me, of course. Thus I deliver into your hands your purpose. Though your clarity about it will increase, with it will come the aha experience around many things in your life. You all see the coming turn, the outward movement, the delivery of the key to all those hearts we shall open. It means simply that all of you go forth without ego to be givers of love. And this brings me to the last thing for today. Practice this. Practice giving love to me until you are truly experiencing the orgasmic moment of creation. At the same time, practice giving love. The steps have been perfect, but all steps lead here. All the learning of sacred sexuality, all the choices to move beyond ego, all the patterning by all of you for humanity to follow, all lead here. And you each turn to me and give love in order to experience your identity as givers of love. Then turn to your soulmate and give. Give, give. This reunites you together in your purpose as a delivery system for giving love to all. Then give, give, give together. For what you place in your soulmate heart then has all the impetus of the moment of creation behind it. When you give love together as we move forth, you will change lives by your presence. Love me. We are givers of love together. Amen.